Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're discussing Ugly Love because it is the only book that I read in November and December 2022. I was in such a mood where I just didn't want to read. I just wasn't enjoying it. I couldn't find a book that I actually wanted to stick to, and so I decided to not read basically. And although I sort of like work with books and it's almost a bit like a pressure to read all the time and everyone thinks that I read all the time, I actually don't. So it'd gone 2 months and I just read one book, so I'm here to tell you about that one. So it's by COLLEEN HOOVER, who is technically a controversial author, but I'm afraid I am a Coco fan and I do really like her writing. I read It Ends With Us last year, or 2021, and absolutely fell in love with it, and I then pre-ordered It Starts With Us, which is my only ever pre-order I've ever done, and I got Ugly Love maybe for birthday, Christmas. I don't think I bought it myself. So I gave this one a go, and I've seen this one over TikTok a lot as well. This one was not how I expected it to be. I didn't understand, first of all, why it was called Ugly Love, and then in the story you do kind of understand it. So the book follows the story of Miles, basically. It's kind of about him and his character throughout the book, and it flicks between the present day and 6 years ago, still about Miles. 6 years ago we see this bizarre relationship with technically his stepsister. So although they're not blood related, they start living together and they have developed feelings for each other. And then when it flicks to the present day, we're seeing the relationship between him and someone called Tate, who he's admittedly using for sex. He's adamant that he cannot have anything more than that, a relationship with her, because of his past, which is unknown to Tate. She kind of wonders what it is that's so bad that happened 6 years ago that he will not pursue a proper relationship. I obviously don't want to give any spoilers away, but the whole point of the book, in my eyes, was more about the sort of like message about how your past can affect your future, and that can go for anything, be it relationships or any other kind of trauma. So it's definitely a weird one because although there is plot there, I would say it's mainly character driven. So if you're looking for a book that is more about the sort of like characters and their experiences, then this is probably it. Miles, I couldn't quite pin down if I liked him or not. I think that it's quite a masculine thing to just be very black and white and just be like, no, I just want sex, I don't want anything more than that. And I think that Tate, you could see, gets quite frustrated with that and wants to know what's so bad and why he won't pursue a relationship with her. And I kind of I wouldn't say I was angry at him for that. I kind of understood, like, especially given his past, which you then find out like quite late on in the book, which admittedly I probably wanted it earlier because I wanted to know as well, but that's obviously what keeps you reading, trying to find out what it was that happened. So yeah, it's mainly about relationships, to be honest, because and romantic ones at that, because there's not really an awful lot that goes on apart from that. It's very focused on Miles and his relationships. As with any COLLEEN HOOVER book, the content is quite dark, so I would just like warn you beforehand, check any content warnings, because she tends to write books that are quite heavy and that are quite potentially like sensitive. Despite that, I still found it really enjoyable. I didn't like this one as much as It Starts With Us and It Ends With Us. I think just because I couldn't really find any of the characters relatable or kind of like feel like I was in their shoes as much, but I still enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars because it was a good read. I would recommend it to someone, but it didn't sort of like blow me away as such. I am trying to listen to more audiobooks as well to try and like read quicker, which I did get into the habit of reading all the time, or listening to all the time, especially on my commute to work. But recently I haven't been doing that as much, and that's because of a few things, mainly because I'm out of the habit, but also, it sounds really pathetic, but I don't have earphones at the moment. So I put my earphones in the washing machine, obviously by accident, and they are broken. So I ordered some new ones, like fake AirPods, on Amazon for like £20, which is what the previous pair were. But the previous pair that I had that were really good, stayed in my ears, good sound quality, they are not like selling them anymore, or they're out of stock or whatever. So I got these other fake ones, and they're just not as good in that the sound quality isn't great, but they just fall out my ears. Like, they just don't stay in my ears, which obviously is what you need. And especially when I'm sort of commuting, like I was on the train and they just fell out on the train. I was like, oh my god. So it's kind of annoying because I kind of have to be listening to it where I can play it out loud, so be it in my room doing washing, whatever, but it means I can't listen to it on the go, like on dog walks like I used to. So I think I kind of just need to see what the situation is there, try and get some new earphones, because audiobooks definitely helped me reach sort of like some of my reading goals last year. On that, in this position, I'm about to record a video of all of like my favourite books of 2022 as well, all the ones that I read last year. So if you are interested, then check that out on my channel, as well as all the other book reviews that I've done. But yeah, this was very short and sweet because I only had one book to talk about, and that was Ugly Love by COLLEEN HOOVER. I want to know what your thoughts are on this, like genuinely, like even if you've done like a whole review of this, just are you a yes or a no? Because I would say I was like a yes, but some people genuinely hated it, and the whole thing with like the stepsister triggered a lot of people. Yeah, let me know what you think.